Well, hello once again. This is me, Leonard Wells, broadcasting from Haslingden, north of Manchester in the UK, on Tuesday the 2nd of November 2010. My subject today is a very popular one because many people suffer from it. The subject is depression. What is it? What causes it, and how do we change it? The reason I have come to broadcast today is because in the past week or so I began to feel depressed. In other words, the joy of living, the funny little things which make life happy and funny, began to drift away from me, and I began to feel a sort of cloud around my thought processes, like somebody wearing an iron mask or a suit of armour or something, and I hoped it would go away. I prayed it would go away, and yesterday I decided to do something about it. To my mind, you've got to get in quick with depression, because if you don't, it's like a spring which gets tighter and tighter and tighter, and it becomes more and more difficult to let go, because your thought processes slowly become dark and forbidding and foreboding, and you began to once this process starts, nothing will cheer you up. You begin to think what a miserable place this planet is, what an awful life, how terrible it is, there can't be a God who could permit all this, and all this kind of business. If you really believe there is no God, that all of this happened by accident, that some billions of years ago there was nothing, and suddenly one day there was a big bang. There was nothing there, but there was just a big bang. So how on earth nothing just goes bang, they can't explain. But if you assume that there was a big bang, and then out of all that came you and things like an orange and all these marvellous things which are involved in life, if you think all that is an accident, then you must be potty. I can assure you, as Jung said when he was asked in the TV interview by John Freeman, "Do you believe in God?" He replied, "I do not believe. I know." Now, he didn't quite mean it in precisely that way, but an awful lot of people wrote to him and said, "How do you know?" Well, I know. I know for absolute certainty. And I know there's a heaven and a hell. And those of you who don't believe it's there, well, wait and see. It'll be a bit too late when they take you down into the dungeons, where it gets hotter and hotter and hotter, until you come to the point where Hitler's living, where it's the hottest part of hell. And so, anyway, let's come back to the subject. I decided to get a little help, but not from the medics, because I have a friend of mine who's been severely depressed with what's called bipolar, which means he swings from one end of the scale to the other. 1 minute he's up and next minute he's down. They give him these mind-bending tablets, and so eventually his thought processes are very cool, calm and collected. He can't laugh, he can't cry, but he's on an even Steven keel. Now, he's almost doubled in his weight since he was on these pills, because this is one of the side effects. So he's gone from being a fairly slimmish young man to a very fat old man, and he's still technically depressed. And that's been 10 years now. Now, how on earth he's going to find out that he's not depressed when I'm still taking these tablets, I don't know. Do they know? I don't think they do. Anyway, I was put off asking my doctor for help, and I thought I would try something called St.John's wort. St.John's wort. Now, these tablets are herbal, and they don't know quite how it is that the thing in this St. John's wort actually works. But in Germany, a lot of doctors prescribe it. Now, I took one yesterday. By evening, I had begun to feel the greyness and the heaviness and the dullness floating away. Little bit. Today, it's still there, but not quite as bad as it was before yesterday and before I took the tablet. So I've taken another one. And I will continue this little vlog about depression every day if I can, and report the progress. So do consult your doctor before you take them, because you never know, something might clash with any medicines that you're taking now. So just check. But also be careful, because doctors supply drugs, and drugs are supplied by drugs companies, and drugs companies are in business to make money. So if they think they can dissuade you from taking something like St. John's wort to taking one of these mind benders by finding some research that says St. John's wort clashes with people who wear a trilby or some such, you know what I mean, statistics as I call it, then they'll do it. Without any compunction whatsoever, they'll do it. That's business. But it shouldn't be like that where health is concerned, should it really? Well, I'm going to say cheerio. I'm going to say God bless. While it's still legal in the UK to say God bless, it's not illegal in Romania. Great place for a holiday. It will cheer you up, and it's cheap to travel, and it's cheap when you get there. More about that soon. All the best now. Take care. Bye.